Welcome back to the Crawford Pirates pregame show. Third-ranked Crawford faces undefeated and state-ranked Tolar in the state quarterfinals. A 7 o'clock kickoff from Burleson ISD Stadium is just ahead. Our interview with Crawford Pirates head coach Greg Jacobs is sponsored by Hometown Construction and Design, which constructs custom-built homes. From the design of the floor plan to the completed project, call them at 254-229-0006 or check them out on Facebook, Hometown Construction and Design. Hey, Coach, last week against Riesel in the third round, Riesel got the ball on the opening kickoff. We thought they might never give the ball back to you. They go 20 plays, took 11 and a half minutes off the clock. Coach, during that first possession, Brian Fonville got 2 different haircuts during that possession, but you did hold them to a field goal, and they would not find the end zone or the goalposts again. You won that game 41-3. How did your defense pitch another near shutout?
Well, I think, giving up a 20-play drive like that is very unusual for us, anybody in that respect. But, I think it was a combination of things. They're much better than they were earlier in the year. And I think it was a learning experience for our defense to realize that. We changed a few things later on that benefited us defensively, but to get hit in the mouth like that right off the bat and bend but not break, we kept them out of the end zone and held them to 3 points. And from that point on, I think they really got really focused, decided that they were going to make every effort to slow them down, and they were able to do it. So my hat's off to the defense. Even though we gave up that 20-play drive, the bottom line is keeping them out of the end zone is the most important thing. And in that respect, the offense stepped in and played a big part from that point on.
Yeah, Coach, your offense last week was very versatile. You had quick strikes like that 72-yard Torbert to Walker bomb on the third play, offensive play of the game. You had Brett Chambers turning what might have been a victory formation into about a 78-yard touchdown run right there at the end of the half. Then you also had some methodical kind of clock controlling drives, like the 98-yard drive you had coming off that goal line stand inside the 2-yard line. You have to like the versatility of your offense. Yes.
I think they've continued to improve and expand, been able to utilize the different players, different spots, and trying to find opportunities to get them the ball I think that's something that we're really expanding and growing into. It's a process that I'm enjoying seeing during the course of the year. I think the big thing is our defense and offense complement each other so well. When one seems to struggle, the other steps up and performs really well. And they take care of each other. And I think that's a mark of a very good, strong, unified team.
Hey, Coach, one of the things we like to do up in the press box is we like to speculate on what you might be saying to the officials whenever a call goes against your team. And there were a few calls in the second half of last week's game, a few low blocking penalties, if I'm remembering correctly, one deep in your own territory. And you seemed like you might have disagreed with those calls.
It was a below the waist block on the defense anyway. That flag that came in was on Crawford.
And Greg Jacobs is out at the 20 with two of the officials asking for an explanation.
Greg Jacobs got the explanation, but he does not like it.
We can ask him about that this week.
Maybe he will have changed his mind by then.
So my questions are, number one, can you share with us what you were saying to the officials? And number two, now that you've had a chance to watch the film, have you changed your mind at all?
Well, there's some rule changes that have applied this year concerning blocking below the waist. And it doesn't just involve, offense. It involves defense as well. So when a defensive player hits an offensive player below the waist outside the tackle box, that's illegal. And sometimes it kind of changes the complexion of the game a little bit and how it's been played in the past. So it's an adjustment period for us. It's a little frustrating. Sometimes we're so accustomed to doing things one way, and all of a sudden it's an incorrect way. So that's something we have to address as a staff and as a program to get better at. That's kind of frustrating, but there were some other issues that happened, it's kind of frustrating too, concerning holding and that sort of thing. So I'll just leave it at that. I have my own opinions based on what occurred, but you live and go with it. And I just needed some explanation on why the penalties were assessed, and I'll leave it at that.
Once again, another excellent PR answer, Coach Jacobs.
We're talking with Crawford Pirates head coach Greg Jacobs. A 7 p.m. kickoff. Crawford and Tolar in the state quarterfinals is straight ahead. Hey, Coach, Tolar is no joke. These guys are 13-0. They have really not been challenged. They've got this sophomore running back, number 40, Peyton Brown. He has rushed for 2,600 yards. That's like 200 yards a game and nearly 4 touchdowns a game. It looks like they like to send 4 guys wide and then try to play you 7-on-7 right in the box with him getting the line, almost all the carries. And he has been very effective in that. How do you stop that?
Well, at some point in time, there's one-on-one situations that have to occur. You have to be better than the one in front of you. And, they've schemed that very well. Their coaching staff does an excellent job game planning what their strengths are and taking advantage of it. And, they've got all the tools in the box. And, their offensive line is very solid, consistent. They have a very intelligent quarterback that utilizes the run game very well and reads very well. And of course, you have Peyton Brown in the backfield, who is a unique individual himself. But, they have some other skill receivers that come into play too. If you try to be able to stack the box, they'll just attack you on the outside. So, at some point in time, you've got to win some one-on-one battles, and you got to do a very good job tackling. And the big thing is, I think something that we learned last week is you may give up a long drive. Hopefully not 20 plays, but a long drive. But the bottom line is keeping him out of the end zone. That's the most important thing. So, he may get his yards, but we've got to limit how much yards he gets and see if we can bottle him up as best we can. Like I said, they're very outstanding. They're very good. So it'll be a challenge, but, our defense will be looking forward to the opportunity. And we faced this young man last year as a freshman, and we defended them pretty well last year, but he's grown up since then. So it's a challenge. We're looking forward to it, though.
Hey, Coach, you did an interview earlier in the week with Fox 44, and you commented on how special the culmination of this moment is for you and for a group of seniors, many of whom were key players on a team that 3 years ago reached the state semifinals. Mm-hmm. Would you just talk about what does this group of seniors mean to you and to your program? Well,
they've dedicated 3 years of total commitment, I think, to our program. Their common goal was to see how far we can get, how special can we be, what kind of legacy can we leave with this program that has already built legacies over the past. They wanted to leave their legacy. And so it's just the commitment, the team bonding with that senior group. They're all good kids. They're all competitive. They all like each other. They all get along. They all work really hard, and they don't want to let each other down. So I think during the course of that 3 years, they've really grown into a very unique group. And to see them through these 3 years have the success that they have is really a unique situation. Very proud of what they stand for. And I'm very proud of the effort they put into this program to help lead the younger ones in the same format. So couldn't be more proud and more happy for a bunch of guys.
Hey, Coach, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck to you and to these young men against Tolar in the quarterfinals.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You've been listening to the Coach's Interview, sponsored by Hometown Construction and Design. More of the Crawford Pirates pregame show and a 7 o'clock kickoff, Crawford and Tolar for the regional championship, coming up on Star 104.9 FM.